Hello folks, and welcome back to today's part 2 of MCM Comicon. I am on my way. So today we'll finally get to meet Sheepdog, Anna. We get to catch up with Kev, Kevin Chapman. And we also get to meet Cab today. Bear in mind, I watch Kevin and Sheepdog on YouTube, and they're doing a panel today, so I'm going up now to basically watch that panel and meet them. So yeah, sorry about the shaky cam again, but I still can't get my head around the tripod. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I won't be up here for long today because I'm going out this afternoon with the family. I might include that into the video as well. So yeah. So I am now on the bus. Yeah, so I'm on a bus now on the way to the station to catch the train up to MCM Comicon. I won't be there for long today, like I might just have said in the earlier bit. It's just because I'm going out this afternoon with the family as well. But hello guys, we are now on the train. I've been on the train for a while, just been on Facebook and stuff, but never to check in with you. We'll do the same route as before. So we're going to go to Stratford and then change to DHL. No, DLR, sorry, not DHL. Yeah, so I'll catch up with you when we get into Stratford. One of the bus stops will be getting me a drink, or probably. Hello, me again. So now we're at Stratford Shopping Centre. And we're just making our way up to DLR, not DHL. That I've been saying. It's this excitement again on top of me. How about shaky cam? Cut my head up time. Yeah. So hopefully we'll see Sheepdog at DLR, Kevin, and a couple of us, another two. I know I'm Pab, hopefully. You can probably tell I'm excited. You can probably tell I am overexcited now. But my mind to say I have to get excited today. But I get to meet my inspiration of plugins crowd. Well, Kevin and Chica. So Kevin really. Yeah, so we're just making our way up to the DLR now, and then we will make our way to MCM Comicon for our next part for a second. So now we're just waiting for DLR, not DHL. I don't know how I got DHL in my head, but I did. But it did DLR. It's coming in 1 minute. Well, not coming in now. Yeah, so then we will be heading to. So we are now in, guys. We are now just about to go and get our bags, such and stuff like that. But it's much busier today. Literally much busier. You can probably tell if I hold you up. And you won't be able to tell how busy you are. I'm going, and it's so then I'm vlogging, not watching where I'm going. Yeah, so hopefully it'll be more of an atmosphere in here today. I will be leaving early today because I am going out for dinner this afternoon with the family. So yeah, and I will try and vlog that as well. So we have now entered MCM Comicon, but guess who's here today? Santa. Santa's here today. And Star Wars, people from Star Wars. I'm out in the roof.
Yeah, you.
So yeah, we are now in our seat for the panel Kevin's doing. Yeah, so we'll try and get a bit of footage from the panel as well.
Our end. Oh, you can make Sheepdog start if you want. I'm happy to throw him under the bus.
It's okay. I picked the far end thinking that I would be going last, so it's okay. I'm Bex, also known as Schnum. I make comics about autism and ADHD. Yes, that's me.
Hi everyone, I'm Sheepdog. We debated over what to call me, but we're going to go with Sheepdog. I make vlogs, stream and things like that, podcasts, so on and so forth. A lot of my vlogging is about autism as well.
Morning everyone, I'm Rachel Doe, also known as Adulting ADHD on Twitter. I have an ADHD Substack newsletter, and whilst I write about what it's like adulting with ADHD.
And I'm Kevin Chapman, YouTuber, reformed family vlogger. Do occasionally make the odd video still about my son Andy, who is autistic. Right, shall we get into some questions? Before we get into the questions I've got prepared, just a warning to you lot, we are going to want some audience participation on this, so probably about halfway through, I'm going to hand over to, or ask Pabby to wander around with a microphone looking for some questions from you guys. So if anything springs to mind during the talk, or you've got a question you're already desperate to ask, when we get to that point, be ready to raise your hand, get thinking of your questions now. But I do have a few prepared that we've collected up from social media and from our own little brainstorming beforehand. And the first one kind of relates to something that I asked in our group chat when we first arranged what our panel was going to be, because the first question I said is, are we going to talk about our diagnoses? Because I don't have one, and I don't want people to riot that I'm on a neurodiversity panel and don't actually have a formal diagnosis or anything. I consider myself to be on the autism spectrum, but haven't actually been able to get a diagnosis yet.
Self-diagnosis is kind of yeah, I agree.
Absolutely, and that's hopefully where we're going to get to. But I just wondered if, exactly that, what are your guys' thoughts on self-diagnosis compared to formal diagnosis? Because it is something that still seems to come up in my YouTube comments quite a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna answer this. I think like a lot of us, everyone on this panel agrees that self-diagnosis is 100% valid. Like it just is, especially in adults, because at least in the UK, there's not really a lot of resources or anything for like autistic adults. It's kind of like, you're not losing anything from being self-diagnosed. If anything, you get access to a community and like online resources that can really help you and develop like coping mechanisms and stuff like that. It's, I don't know, this is a hot take perhaps, but I think people who say it's not valid are wrong. So, Sheepdog, do you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, I do. I'm kind of in a similar boat to Kev in that I've not had an official diagnosis yet, but I had a bit of a weird one because I'm not very self-aware in that regard, and funnily enough. And so Kev was probably one of the few people that very outright said, no, you probably want to look into that. Whereas my parents were like, no, you're just yourself. And they seemed very, they didn't think my son was autistic, and he's very autistic, he's clearly autistic, So, yeah, I kind of, when he got diagnosed, I thought, well, I always thought he was very, very like me when I was his age, and he seems to be very, very similar to me in all the ways that they were talking about. So I kind of pursued that, and when I showed, I had to fill out a form, and they were like, oh yes, you join the queue, yeah, they were outright like, this looks pretty straightforward. So yeah, as you say, self-diagnosis definitely, but I was doubting it. I didn't jump into it straight away because I didn't want to look like I was going, me too, everyone, look, I'm in this. And actually, no, the more I've looked, the more I'm like, okay, yeah, I wasn't very self-aware.
Just to add to that, you technically need to self-diagnose before you can actually go and get a formal diagnosis. So I self-diagnosed and done my research, and then I started the process of getting my diagnosis. So just as you said in the audience, self-diagnosis is valid, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You know, there are some people who want to gatekeep these diagnoses, and it's not great. And so yeah, if you've self-diagnosed, you know it's valid, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
And also, especially as an adult, you can find yourself not really having much choice but to self-diagnose, because certainly for me, I did try and go through the formal diagnosis process. I went into the doctor with all sorts of forms that I've got from the National Autistic Society, lists of people they could refer me to, and the doctor just kind of stopped me at the first stage and said, okay, I see all this, I'm not arguing with any of this, but the question I'd ask you is, what's going to change if you get a diagnosis? And I couldn't really answer that question. I didn't really know how to answer it. And he was kind of like, well, I'm probably not going to take it any further unless there's an actual benefit of you doing it. Now, I realise I probably at that point should have kicked off and demanded to see another doctor, because I don't think that that should necessarily rule you out of getting formal diagnosis. But it was certainly do I want to keep going back and pushing through this? When realistically for me, I think the things that I identify as what makes me think I'm on the spectrum, I see them as advantages. It's how I've got where I am, and I don't need any support with it, I don't think. So the doctor kind of almost talked me out of going down the formal diagnosis route. Anyone got anything they want to add to that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, when I went to the doctor, the first thing they told me was adults don't get diagnosis. And I was like, I know quite a few who have and do. And so it was quite hard work to convince them to actually do something. But then I got one step further, and they were like, oh yes, there's a lot of evidence there. So it is worth pushing. If anyone gets that kind of barrier of, no, we're not going to pursue it, or why, I would, you know, I did. And they were like, oh yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, like you're allowed to disagree with your doctors as well. Like that's a thing. I think some people sort of go through the diagnosis process, get told no, and then they're kind of like, oh, I guess I can't identify like this then. But you are allowed to keep pushing and keep researching, and because no one knows your own brain better than you.
So we have now just left Comicon. Sorry about the lighting. I'm basically walking under a bridge. Yeah. So now we're just looking for the DLR, I mean, sorry. And then we're just heading back. I'm sorry the wind is picking up the wind a bit more now, but I lost my wind muff on it. I ordered a new one actually. Tomorrow, hopefully I'll be here before as soon as. Yeah, I hope it won't be too expensive. I just hope I have to order a new mic for this setup. Yeah, but it has been an amazing experience. Literally, today has been the best day. I am in agony, but it has been amazing. So our next event will be at next month, end of the month. I think it's the 27th. But we also got a event for creators, which I'm attending as well. That'll be in the wine bar. No further. Yeah. So I'll catch up with you when I get back to the DHL. Not DRL, I mean, sorry. We are now back at Stratford International, heading back to the Central Line. That was an amazing day. Great to meet Kevin. No, but I met Kevin before. Great to meet Anna, Pab and Sheepdog. I'll link to Kevin's and Sheepdog's channel in the description. But Sheepdog is amazing, so is Kevin, and I am grateful for them to have allowed me to hang around with them for the panel as well. I know it's amazing for someone who's a single mum and have some autism and everything to go with that. It's amazing. So yeah. But I will link to their channels, the 2 channels in the description as well. But I will carry this blog on till I get back to near Greenford, White City more probably, and then I will end it. I'm going out for dinner. If you like some family content on the channel, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to drag a family involved as well. But I am struggling, I'm broken. Literally, I'm broken. So yeah. But, like guys, I'm thinking of doing Vlogmas this year. Once again, leave a comment in the description, not in the comments. You let me know if you want Vlogmas, and then that will then involve more day in the lives. I'll get an advent calendar off Amazon and do a day opening. Each day opening. What is it called? I open a thing box with it. I do an advent calendar counting down to Christmas. And a few other things as well. I got ideas, but I need to know what people will watch it. So let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll be more than happy to do it. So I'm just wrap this up here, I think, guys. So I would like to thank you once again for watching. If you enjoyed this, please smash the thumbs up on the video. Use the comment section. I love the backwards and forwards conversation I had with somebody at the last Comicon video. Yeah, so use the backwards and forwards, the comments to talk to me, and I'll respond to you as well. And then also subscribe to the video. Then at least then I know you enjoy this type of content, and I'll carry on making it. Also let me know in the comments what you would like to see. I'll be blogging a week this week. Tuesdays will more probably be an evening, Monday evening routine or something to make. I'm out and about Monday evening. But yeah, let me know. I won't say if you want the family stuff in it, I will get them in it. But thank you, and I'll see you next time.